I went with it, by the way. Takes a second.
No.
Nope, it's going. It says get ready. You move. Oh, the internet can totally see you now. Oh, YouTube, you're so clever. Okay, welcome everybody to our maybe 10th or 12th BlockchainGaming.com meetup. I'm here with Andrew, and today we're joined with Yasif from Tap Project. It's a blockchain gaming platform. So we're going to hear a little bit from him about the overall project and what they're doing, what they're working on, what kind of games they've been making. Then we're going to slide into a demo of some of the games. Andrew's got it installed on his phone.
Yep.
And then we're going to
tell them where we are.
And we're going to finish off with a little bit of Q&A. I did that off stream, but we are, as always, broadcasting from eControl, formerly Decentral, kind of our Bitcoin hack space in Vancouver. So if you're ever coming through Vancouver, look us up and come through. Welcome back to some of our members. And so why don't you start? I'll be your slide guy.
Take it away. Okay.
Take it away.
Awesome. Appreciate it. I'll maybe go on this side. This is a good side. I see.
Yeah.
I'm one in front of the
Introduce the whole blockchain gaming thing a bit first. Yeah.
Perfect. So, as you guys know, we've had some technological issues. So hopefully some of the stuff goes on. There's some pretty cool things in the slides, but if they don't work, that's fine.
It's working perfect.
We'll just go with them.
It's working perfect.
Perfect. So it's great to be here at eControl. I've never actually done a presentation here. I've been here and had the pleasure of doing it last one at CoinFest, a presentation talk there as well. And it was awesome. I thank you guys for hosting as well. So if you guys haven't seen that, I encourage you guys to jump on our YouTube channel and take a look at that. We had some good presentations as well from some local guys, and I think Engine and stuff were there as well. So normally when I try and do these talks, I saw that there's a few hands of people that hadn't been here, or some did not have Bitcoin, or some weren't too familiar, very rebuild type thing. So whenever I do these talks, I try and kind of range in between some of the newer guests and some people who have a lot of experience. So bear with me, I won't get into anything too technological today, but just kind of give it overall the platform and what we do. So obviously I'll start with an introduction of myself. I'm Hanif Knight. I'm one of the co-founders of the Tap Project. And obviously you see a couple of the co-founders in my business development partner as well. And what the Tap Project is for us, it's a revolutionary vision. You can go to the third one, that's good. Revolutionary vision that essentially pushes the envelope in gaming, and it allows us to essentially try and figure out a goal to disrupt the industry by providing gamers an opportunity to transfer their in-game currencies, tokens, rewards, gems through blockchain into a medium of tap form into other games. This is all done for us through our interactive digital media product called the Tap Platform. And so just kind of an intro for me as well. I'm a huge gamer. I've always been a gamer. When I was little, I still play games. Obviously, I could probably name like 90% of the games I've played here. But I've built up from, whether it was like Zoo Tycoon, Red Alert, silly games, from Sega or anything, NES, I played them all. I played so many games, and that's what the passion for gaming is kind of what spawned the purpose of developing the Tap Project. And simply throughout my lifetime, and I'm sure if you guys are gamers, I'm not too sure if you guys are, but through my lifetime, I've probably earned millions, trillions, billions of tokens, gems, currency from all the games that I've played. And for me, that's where the problem came. The problem was what happens to all my gems, currencies, tokens when I move on to another game? What happens to those tokens when I reach end game? They're locked in that game. So for me, that was a huge motive for me to continue working on this project, is to be able to see my tokens and my currencies that I spent, my skills transferred into another game. Oh, this one's good. You can see here. So these are all obviously the currencies that I talked about. We can go to the next slide as well. So the problem, as I said, gamers spend several hours a week playing games, and when they reach end game, their tokens, currency, scores, and skills are locked away in each game. So we'll take a couple minutes. We can go to the next one. Take a couple minutes to talk about the Tap platform, what we've done, what we're currently working on, and where we hope to take it from here. As I mentioned earlier, we can visit the TAP platform. It is live right now at tapplatform.io. It's a blockchain gaming portal that uses the tap point as its medium to integrate between the 3 games. And we discussed earlier today, and we'll kind of get into the games that we do have, but we discussed all those 3 games that are currently on the platform are interactable, and they allow the tap point to be, essentially buy an upgrade in one game, move it on to the next game, and continue buying upgrades. So additionally, users can import their scores back and forth between games, as I said, with export and import limits. And doing so provides a new source of revenue for the gamer because the tap points do have a value. It is built off of the Ethereum token or using the Ethereum network. And it also, we incentivize developers to join our platform by providing additional revenue every time a gamer does convert. So currently we have 3 integrated convertible games right now, and one of them is Stunt Runner, Blocky Car Crash, and Panda Commander Air Combat X. But one of the first ones that we used as our flagship game was Stunt Runner. I don't know if this is going to play. Maybe if you slide the mouse over to it.
I'll show off the game on my phone later anyway.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. So that's just a little gameplay of the game. And as you'll see later on today, it's Stunt Runner is essentially a fast-paced, endless rooftop runner. And the goal is to run as long as you can, test your skills by continuously running, racing on top of rooftops, collecting coins, and being able to use those coins. The reason we chose Stunt Runner as kind of our flagship game to kind of get this platform and the purpose of it off is because it's super simple. It's supposed to be an addictive game, simple process of running, collecting coins, and being able to use those coins to get magnets to collect more coins, run faster, shields, blocks, everything like that, or be able to take those coins earned and transfer them into other games. So building off the Unity and Unreal engines, the TAP SDK allows a universal connection between the games when they interact with each other. Without getting into direct specifics on how it's done, we've attempted to make this process as seamless as possible because that was the one thing that we felt with developers and speaking to them. We don't want to, with blockchain, it's hard enough. For those of you guys who are in this space, blockchain, crypto, you mentioned that, you're going to be talking for 30 minutes, at least. So we wanted to make sure that the seamless integration was as seamless as possible and that there's little footprint into the game. Because that's the only way that we're going to see mass adoption is to ensure that it's easily accessible to others. Doing it this way allows developers to integrate with the games that they're currently building or games that are pre-existing. The real goal is for us to go all the way back. I know I've reached a place in the project where I can load up Modern Warfare 2 and put in all my thousands of hours, all my fall skins, and get some sort of reward out of that. Then I know that I've hit my reward. I can go back to play MVC2 on Dreamcast, load that Dreamcast in, take all my coins and points out, and then I know I've reached kind of a place there. So some of you guys might ask is, well, what happens to the in-game economy when you're doing this? One of the things that we obviously wanted to ensure in speaking to developers is we want to ensure that there wasn't a mass influx of tokens or gems going into each game. Because that was very important for developers because they thought that that would break their economy. Anyone play Diablo here?
Yeah.
Okay, so it happened in Diablo 3 in the market, and there was a mass influx of broken items that were worth value and items that weren't worth value, but essentially broke their economy. And they ended up taking out their marketplace, and that was the end of that. So we wanted to make that a focus point, and so we essentially built in export and import limits to ensure that gamers don't, put in 2 million gems into a game and all of a sudden they're level 15 instead of level 1 when they're first to start. But doing so with moderation allows a gamer to be able to feel some sort of accomplishment when they've jumped into a game. So imagine if you're playing Clash of Clans. Instead of starting at a level 1 giant, you can get a level 2 giant. Not enough to destroy all enemies, but enough for you to feel some sort of benefit that you've actually continued progress as you continue to play. And as I said, this every time this happens, the developer does receive a percentage of revenue as well. that was one of the first sections that we started out, was the conversions pieces. And the second section that we kind of moved into is the tap challenges. And the tap challenge system allows gamers to earn tap points, or TTT as we call it, while playing their favorite Steam games. For us, this was important because this gave an opportunity for us to reach a wide adoption, a AAA market essentially. We got a lot of requests from the community to say, hey, we love these indie games as well. How about some AAA games? So we integrated essentially with the Steam API, which allows gamers to reap the rewards from the AAA Steam games that they're currently playing. We've broken it down to seasons, and currently we're in season 2. And these are some of the games that are currently on the TAP platform that you can take your Steam achievements and earn them into, and switch them into TAP points. So PUBG, GTA 5, Total War, CSGO, Rust, Rocket League, and Fortnite. Fortnite's obviously not on Steam, but we've managed to figure that out.
That's a super smart distribution.
Total War.
That's a super smart distribution. I really like it.
It does, we use some metrics to determine what are the hottest games right now, and obviously not to flood out everything, but yeah, these are kind of...
and they take the achievements, and then it's a one-time thing per account, and it's a really good distribution, dude.
You got it there, and I think on the next slide you'll actually be able to see one of the achievements for one of the games. So essentially like this, you'll be able to see, I think this is Fortnite actually, so as the achievements, the harder the achievements, the more tap points you earn. The more people that have actually earned those achievements, you earn less tap points. So obviously get 300 solo kills, you earn less tap points. Or achieve 6 million total score in combined mode, that's very rare, and I think there's Ninja and among like 10 have actually done that, and you'll get 92 tap points for that. So we've actually figured out the metric for that to ensure that you're not getting too much, or you're getting some sort of reward. The next segment that we did, obviously taking on the AAA side, was Showdown. And there was another little video, but we can play that after as well. Showdown is a tournament series that pits the best esports gamers against each other by combining blockchain technology, esports gaming, and gaming API. This allows gamers to essentially battle for tap points, use tap points to enter into tournaments, be able to... In this, we use a kind of an automated process. For those who have played in tournaments, I played in lots of tournaments myself, and one of the things is the monotonous manual inputs of my scores, my games. After each round, I have to go back on, oh, I won 2-1, and then he has to convert that. We've used essentially the gaming APIs for the games that we're actually working with, and it's automated. So we wanted to automate that process to ensure that once you're playing in Apex, and if you get 5 scores after rounds, it's going to automatically go to 5 scores there. And actually with Apex, we're actually doing pretty good with that. We've hosted a few invite-only tournaments, which allows us to fine-tune it. And we're actually hosting a pretty big prize pool here, $1,000 prize pool in October with Apex Legends with West Wire Esports as well. The next thing that I think is down to, we jumped up somewhere down there.
Oh,
That's right. I think it's that one. This one's number 6.
no, with the other ones, no.
Okay. So the next thing that we've actually done is more with blockchain specific, and it's proof of mastery. We're actually going to do a talk on this topic, but it's kind of boring. It's a consensus algorithm that we've essentially developed specifically for blockchain and blockchain gaming. So over the last few months, we've just not only been trying to develop our platform itself, but obviously feed into the whole blockchain system and gaming itself. And one of the things that we've kind of found was that traditional proof of work or proof of stake wasn't quite well designed for gaming and blockchain gaming as we first imagined. Currently on our platform, we offer a POS-like drip system, where if you stake a certain amount of tap points in your tap wallet, you receive a monthly reward of tap points. Well, we figured we want to dive a little bit more into it, which is why we developed the proof of mastery.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are you actually confirming transactions this way?
Through proof of mastery?
As you would in work or stake, are you verifying blocks and?
No.
But you're okay. Go on.
So I'll get a little bit into it. My proof of mastery guy, he's not here. and he'd be able to have like a 4-hour conversation with you. But I'll get into as much as I can about that. We can go to the next slide. So as I said, we try to design it for blockchain and gaming itself. With the introduction, it requires interaction of the platforms that you're using with combined staking. So users in our specific case, when they play Steam games, when they can convert, when they jump into another tournament, when they win tournaments, this is all going towards what we call an XP system. That XP system, which is off-chain, allows the user to build up a score and recognition towards mastery level. Using this, once they reach a mastery level, they're able to then stake, and this is where it comes into stake their tokens and receive a percentage of rewards from the conversion of the platform. So essentially what it does, it combines usability for the platforms and the technology with a method of staking as well.
Wait, is this on your own blockchain?
No, this is on the Ethereum network, yes. So it's not on our own blockchain. We haven't decided to go into our own blockchain. We are actually kind of looking, but right now we're just seeing to see if that's going to be suffice enough. And the goal is essentially to move from our POS system to the proof of mastery system when we introduce our XP system coming up towards the end of this year. And last but not least is kind of the next stage that I'm going to talk about is what we're currently working on, or where we're actually being steered a little bit as well. Over the last bit, we've received tremendous push to jump into the esports realm. Currently, the esports realm in its own is a very new industry, and it's a booming industry. There's a lot of potential there. And obviously, esports and blockchain tokenization is huge. So I won't get into too much because we're kind of sheltered by some NDA in some aspects. But just simply think of tokenization, fractional ownership, and reward systems. Fractional ownership for us is it's a huge secret for us that I won't give up too much, but if you just think of the possibilities of being an owner of an esports team through blockchain and fractional ownership, which is huge. So we hope to obviously bring these systems out throughout North America, and hopefully you guys will see us soon with these specifically as well. And hopefully, I'm hoping within the next couple months I'll be able to spread a little bit more about exactly what we're doing in this space. So, essentially to end, all these changes that we've done over the last couple years, we've been in the market since early 2017, over the last couple years. We've built this system, we've moved on towards we are, and it's a place of sustainability, user-friendliness, usefulness, and we can't wait for the advancement that we're currently going to. So I thank you guys for the time, and I'll be happy to answer any sort of questions that you guys might have, if I can do so. As I said, my tech expert is not here to be able to answer specific mining questions on that aspect, but definitely put him in contact. So thank you guys.
Cool, yeah, let's get
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I'm not really technical, so this could be a bad question, but I'm just wondering what your business model is. So you were talking about, like, say, how the gamers are earning. So, like, how are you operating as a business using this system?
So there's a couple different ways. We use obviously a traditional transactional revenue model to suffice where developers get paid per X amount of transactions. There was a slide I removed in here, but let's say a game, based on the stats of the game, you're able to determine how many players are operating in that game. So if your game is between 0 and 100,000 transactions in a month, you earn a certain level of revenue for the developer. The gamer does earn revenue in tap coins, as well as we receive revenue. So there's a 3-tiered system as well.
So are game developers paying for it? Or sorry, Portal 2 there, are they paying for it? Where does the money come from?
So right now, the purpose is to build adoption
Yeah.
So we aren't charging any developers any sort of subscription fees.
Okay.
However, that is the point, that's where we want to go, is essentially to say, once we've built up mass adoption to control a sizable amount of stake in the market, then to say, developers, you want to be on the platform because X amount of users are using it, X amount of games are on it. This is kind of our rate, pay X percentage, 25% to jump in for a yearly subscription type thing. But right now, there is no sort of fee for the developer, just because, as I said, blockchain and gaming are so new. It's
They're just trying to get mass adoption. Yeah, critical
exactly,
mass.
exactly. We've actually, just since our launch in August, we've reached over 5,000 users in terms of with the platform. And when we first started and first kind of got out with this, we hit the ground running really hard and really fast. And that was the one thing. And I don't know if any of you guys are developers or kind of getting into that space or entrepreneurs, but for the gaming industry, you never want to be the first. It's kind of a hidden thing for developers. You never want to be the first, you never want to be the last. You always want to be the second or third. So for us, that was huge in breaking that barrier for that first developer. We did sign with Juego Studios, who developed Stunt Runner, which was great to be the first. Now you're just building data. Once you get data, you can increase the market size, you can get those developers to say, well, I won't think about it, but now, I need to be on it, right?
Because the benefits for them would be gamers want to play their games to earn more tap coins so they can earn money. So attack more games.
Exactly. We've actually done, in terms of, we have some pretty good analytics to show retention. The retention model is actually quite big. Developers think that, we're going to actually lose customers because they're going to continuously transport out of my game. What we say to them is, we can't make your game good. If your game is good, players will play. As long as your game is good, players will continuously play, even when they reach endgame. Because now that level 100 character who is just slaying hordes of nothingness, he's actually getting some reward from that. So we've actually done studies in terms of with our analytics to show that there's pretty good retention.
You could also get people playing games differently as well, like being attracted to different games to try to earn more time.
Yep.
Thanks.
And we've actually as well, throughout the time, we've, even just having the 3 games, we've figured out, and what we call plenty plots. Figured out the games that are getting too used and the games that are not being used. And we've actually figured out kind of like a metric system to be able to switch those games, offer additional bonus points in this game to increase players playing that game. So for developers, especially indie developers, we're offering essentially free marketing, free exposure, an integration of a widespread game. Our pitches to them is to say, if 2,000 indie game developers jump onto the platform and we get one AAA developer, taking even 2% of that AAA developers market to even sift into your game, as long as your game's good, they'll play, is a great incentive.
Any other questions?
Yeah, on that last slide, you said something about us being sheltered. Esports, I'm not going to talk about that because we're under.
Yes.
What was that?
NDA. So, like a disclosure agreement. We're actually working towards impacting the esports market quite heavily. So, I really want to say a lot of things about it and kind of where we're going with that space. But I just can't at the moment just due to that. I hope to be able to express myself in the next coming months about that, because I think it's really big. It's really big in that. So,
Okay, well, I look forward to that.
yeah, I look forward to it myself as well.
Alright, so I know your tech guy's not here, but
Yes.
I'm going to grill you anyway because
Sure.
I'm a decentralist.
Yes.
So for me, I'm always interested in what's on chain and what's off chain
Yes.
is what I always think about.
Yep.
And I get the sense that a lot of this is off chain.
Yep.
So you don't have like one thing that's really popular, especially on Ethereum, is putting all the items on chain. Is that's not one of your goals, or is it eventually?
No. So, learning and kind of maneuvering this space, our focus point at the beginning was definitely on chain. And I think I actually touched on it a little bit in my last talk as well at the CoinFest, was what we figured out was a nice medium of both on-chain and off-chain to figure out a perfect collaboration. So that's our end goal, is to provide interaction and immediate reward off-chain, and provide things that can be tracked through Ledger, have some sort of sustainability on-chain. Is kind of what.
So what is the process like? So that means there's got to be the tap coins obviously are on chain.
Yes.
And if you can convert your game coins to tap coins, there's some interaction between on-chain and off-chain going
Yes.
on here. Someone must control that, or the developer. How do I turn, technically speaking, like my WoW gold or whatever into tap coins? Could the developer cheat me in that process?
So what we want to ensure is that you get as much out of it as possible. The only kind of where the transaction will happen for the developer in terms of reaping that revenue is on-chain. So, for example, you have your WoW Gold. You would in the game there's a plugin. You click that plugin, log in to our platform. You'd be able to convert. Let's say you have 5,000 gold to the platform. Send that to the platform. That's all off-chain. Once you go to the platform, and then you click convert to tap coins, that's the on-chain portion. That's where the revenue is transacted to the developer, and that's where it goes to the platform as well.
So basically you have a plugin that's responsible for the conversion of the in-game currency to on-chain tap coins?
Yes, yeah, and there's other little metrics that are on the platform that kind of monitor and kind of figure out we call it the tap value matrix, kind of figure out which currencies are valued more, which currencies are valued less. It's a constant balance of the economy to ensure that no games are kind of being overused, underused. So there's constantly those things, and that's what we kind of figured that needed to be off-chain. Just that kind of calculation, speediness in the calculation.
Oh yeah, now I'm really curious about your metric. Other projects that have attempted this just suffice if we use the market. It's worth what the players will say it's worth to the sellers. How do you judge the conversion rate from various in-game coins to tap coins?
So we do it a couple different ways. We allow the developer to just use our default model, which is essentially if they have an in-game store, we can use the in-game store gems or how much it is, like let's say $1.99 for 5 gems, figure out how much that's worth in-game, and then provide that conversion for the premium rate. It's important to understand that if you think about it, each game has a premium currency and an earned currency. Earned currencies are obviously the golds and stuff that you're earning while playing, and you get the premiums when you're buying. There's 2 different rates though.
Yeah.
For the earned, we use kind of like a time over value kind of metrics to say how long does it actually take to earn this gold in this game. If it is, we want to tie that to the same premium value. So, for example, and follow me hopefully, it's a lot of math, but follow me. Let's say it's $1.99 for 5 gems, right? And that 5 gems gets you a simple basic sword. 10 gold gets you that same basic sword. So now we know that the developer values your time and attention to 10 gold for $1.99. We can use that to obviously play a little bit more with the system. It takes you 5 minutes to walk, and every time you walk, you earn half a gold, right? So we can use those values. But if there's a store, it's obviously a little bit easier to kind of manipulate that. If there isn't, we can do it a different way.
So if they have like a pay-to-play store, you just use their rate.
Yeah.
But because I was thinking, if I'm the developer, I want my in-game currency to be as valuable as possible to incentivize players to do all their playing on my game to earn tap coins. If mine is overvalued compared to other games, economic incentives would be to play mine.
Yes, and we've actually, so if the developer doesn't monitor it, it monitors on our platform as well. So each month, at the very least, we kind of go through kind of economic system and make sure everything's jiving. If there's a game that we see that it's too incentivized or players are earning way too much, we lower those. We call those honeypot games. We lower those, and as long as the kind of the metrics meet, every month they should meet all together. And it does allow us to actually say, okay, developers like, oh, my game's not getting played enough. Then we can kind of say, oh, here's a 2-hour XP boost type thing where gamers will be able to earn more time.
Sorry, what stage are you in terms of the platform? Is all of that done? Is all those conversion systems and all that they're implemented?
Like right now, yeah. If you log onto tap platform.io, it's all all working up.
Jeez, that's fair play, jeez. That's complicated stuff.
It definitely is.
But like you need, like, is there like an apartment of guys just monitoring, basically like stockbrokers, like going through it?
We learn as we go, right? So we have some things that are automated to say, okay, this game kind of, it's like a red flag game. We've seen a lot of transactions from this game, look into it. And that's kind of what's helped us. It's myself, my other co-founders, my brother, my other business partner, and our lead developer as well. That's kind of really honing in on the system. So the answer is no, there isn't a huge department, but there's things that we've automated to ensure that we're not caught astray.
Yeah, it's fair play, because that's like, that's inception kind of economics going on.
It definitely is. It's as I said, we've kind of learned. We've been in here. I want to say we are one of the first to actually specialize in terms of with gaming and game currency through using blockchain. So we've had quite a bit of time to see what didn't work, to get impacted, to have a user kind of quickly begin to export before limits were reached or anything like that. So we've actually been able to learn to where we are right now, which is pretty cool.
We've got a demo time coming up.
Any last questions? We're about to show off a game.
I should make sure these guys can see it.
All right, let's see. So I have not tried Stunt Runner yet, which is kind of cool. We're gonna learn together.
Here we go.
Allow Stunt Runner to. There we go. Hooray! It's working.
So you can earn tap coins while playing this game?
Yep.
There's no other app I need to have running on my phone simultaneous?
No, not at the moment. We're actually working in our next phase is integrating our wallet so that because on the platform you will need MetaMask. So our next phase is to remove that option.
I hate it when they ask me first.
It's just for achievements.
Okay.
If you do want to go
I'll trust you.
If you go to Blocky Blocky Car Crash, there's no achievement in-game Google achievements, and then you won't get prompted with your Google profile. But Stunt Runner, there is game achievements through Google, which is why you have that screen there.
Let's see what happens.
Is there sound?
How many points for one tap coin?
In this game?
Sounds
I
good
would
on my
have to. I
phone.
can look it up for you.
I feel like the bot question has to come up now. Like, it's how
Ah,
can someone be
that's
like,
true. That's a
yo,
good
I've
question.
got a lot of phones and it's cheaper to hire someone or a few people with like Pokemon playing devices or you got all phones at once and then just
So you have an attempt to ban or screen bots?
Yes, so we do have that, and we've set it on two different ways. Again, another learning method. Set it on two different ways. Before we used to have it just on the platform and out of game, but now we have it in-game, platform, and on conversion
coins.
So there's 3 stages that you actually have to kind of pass to be able to trick the system.
is there any KYC
With them or with...
with anyone to get my tap coins out?
Sounds like you expect the developer to. Developers already try to screen bots out of their online games. WoW
Yeah,
does
but now
that.
it matters way more because there's like a,
Oh no!
now it matters more because there's actual like money online.
Value.
So like if you beat the developer, you like get paid this time.
The KYC would be on the platform in terms of that's where you have to log in, create an account on the platform. But in terms of with the game and actually
On which platform?
Tap platform, not with Google, not with the
And
game.
does tap platform ask for my ID?
No.
That's what I need to hear.
So I'm actually collecting tap coins on the map directly.
In this game specifically, off chain, yes.
It has a little T on it.
Yes, off chain, yes.
So is that one tap coin each? Or is it like...
No, there's a.
yeah, okay. No, I didn't expect it. That would just change the economics anyway. But yeah, so that's
I'll tell
like
you-
fractions of a
I'll
tap
tell you
coin.
exactly.
Like he got like 5 points.
2 tap coins. I didn't set up. I did make an account on my computer at home on your like website.
Oh yeah.
You had a web platform on which I did that. So
What the hell?
darn.
You'll be able to.
Yeah, he broke his ankle, man.
But so if I had used my login from that account in this game, I would be converting them now.
Yes, you'd be able to.
Right. So I didn't do that now, but
You're playing for free, man.
yeah. So right now I'm wasting coins.
As long
Basically.
as you
Can we log in later on the point?
As long as you don't uninstall
Oh, I
the
didn't
game,
let go of mine.
your
I saw
coins
yours.
will be held.
Oh, so they're building
so
up
they're
right
building
now.
up in
Oh,
your-
cool.
Yes.
Convert.
No, I didn't log in to
Oh.
the platform yet, so they're just building up. I'll do that later. When you want to
So I'll
try?
actually just show.
Anyone? You don't have
Playing
to.
it the past 15 minutes.
Yeah, this guy's been grinding.
Yeah.
Does it need to stay plugged in?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait, probably. Don't mess with it, please.
Yeah, don't mess it. All right, I'll do one.
5,000 points and they can't convert yet.
Oh, is there a minimum amount you need to convert?
There are minimums and maximums, and there are daily import limits. So we've restricted importing because that was one of the developers' requests to say, we don't want too much going into our game. We're fine with a lot going out, but we don't want too much. So we've limited imports to 1 import a day with a certain limit. Thresholds are hidden in order to ensure that gamers don't game the system.
That's what we do, man.
If we tell gamers your threshold for exporting is 50,000 before you get banned
Oh,
or
you can
blocked,
go down?
Yeah, just
that will try and
Yeah.
kill
Be
us.
careful, you can't drag up. Yeah. Tap.
So tap or drag down?
Interesting. Will he get more abilities, like a double jump or a...
So I couldn't.
So-
I was trying to slide down there. It wasn't working.
Yeah.
He,
Tap.
there is in the store,
Yeah,
there
sometimes I
is
can't
magnets and shields.
Uh,
So one of the cool things with this one is, this was why it's our flagship, is because we experimented with our premium currencies here. You can buy premium currencies and use them to upgrade magnets.
Corner.
Or if you've had premium currencies from another game, you can actually import them and buy magnets in this one as well. In Air Panda Commander Air Combat X, that's where we experimented with the earned currencies rates. So you can actually import games, import your score earned. For example, if you were playing this game right now, you can take all these points, put into Panda Commander, and buy upgraded ship to level 10 or whatever it might be. And so to be 100 game score in this game currently right now is 33 tap points.
Okay. So if you get 100?
So if you get 100 score in this, it's 33 tap points.
Oh, okay. That's yeah. There you go. Doesn't seem terrible. And is there? So how does the tap coin work supply-wise? Do you guys just print more?
No,
Is there-
there's a max.
Yeah, that's a reasonable question, though.
So
dare you.
there's 1.5 billion,
Yeah. Yeah.
and some people say, oh, that's a lot.
No,
And
it's.
the reason is because one AAA game using the integrated system with the amount of players that they use will be able to soak up at least 50% quite quickly. So we want to ensure that there's a lot because we are not printing anymore.
Yeah. How many are in the? But can you?
Can we print
Yeah.
anymore?
Yeah. Is it like a? There's like.
Is it
Is it like?
possible?
Have you removed the ability from yourself?
It's completely.
I did it.
The contract is completely
Okay.
excluded in terms of actually being able to mine anymore.
Yeah, that's good.
So another thing with this as well, obviously, is that there are only 1.5 billion.
Oh, a
So
magnet.
the more games that we do get, the economics just get even more crazier because now you're dealing with portions or fractions of tap points coming into each game.
I'm killing it. Is there another game you recommend me demoing? Oh.
Oh, correct.
So actually,
Panda Commander, you mentioned that.
you can demo that or Blocky Clash. Blocky Clash is a very simple game where it's just going around in circles.
Are they on the Play Store?
Yes, they're both in place.
Well, let's see.
Cool thing that I'm going to brag about here is we are one of the few to actually be on the iOS store with blockchain technology and gaming like this. So we had to go hard and speak to Apple literally every day because they do not like stuff like this. So
Yeah, a lot of people had difficulty with that.
And they still
It
do.
killed some coins, like Spells of Genesis.
still does.
Was it
yes.
Blocky Commander? Or no,
Blocky
Blocky...
Car Crash.
Blocky...
Is it because you're a platform, like literally a game platform, so you're kind of a competitor, right?
In a way, and they really don't know what to do with kind of blockchain, and they haven't really established what they want to do. They do know that they don't want, kind of gift cards and stuff being like transferred that actually hold value. So we figured out with them a way to be able to allow our game onto their system.
Blocky Car... Is it this one?
Restricting.
Stop.
No, it's not in that one.
Blocky
Car
Car
Clash. So we've restricted some small things, and I think it's this one here. We've restricted some small
Third one?
things in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
iOS
yeah.
version,
Okay.
but that's merely to get onto their system, which is very difficult. So this one is it's a very simple game. You're going in a figure eight, and you're going as long as possible.
can do
This,
that.
again, we wanted to experiment with the earned rates. So
Play.
in this game, your currency does not impact your game. So this is just a skins motivated game where the more coins that you get, you can buy further skins. You can use the acceleration on the right and the deceleration on the left.
Oh, I see. How do I get to the other side?
Oh, you can't get to the other side. Just
Oh.
more obstacles get on the right side.
Oh, I see. So I just speed up or slow down?
Speed up or slow down. Did you click easy or hard?
I do not recall.
I think this one might be easy. On hard, there's another road that comes right through.
Oh. Well, I can do that.
Oh, then there's no more cars now.
It's gotta get harder. This is too easy.
Yeah, this is the easy mode.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so if you actually click on hard, I think.
Yeah, let's see what you got. Give it a go on this.
Ooh.
So let's play with the sidewalk lights.
Okay, that didn't count.
That didn't count. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. Super not counting.
So can you lose coins if you do real bad?
No,
You can never lose.
not yet.
What if I
Oh, yeah.
use them to buy an item which I lose in combat or something? Like,
So if you use, yes, you can lose coins that way if you use them to buy upgrades, and then obviously your coins are gone.
Oh yeah.
However, with our new XP system, we will be
They can run through
experimenting
each
with
other.
kind of regression systems as well to see if we can kind of regress players too. So
It's interesting. I have over 100 points. I can't convert
ooh,
any.
motorcycle.
And where do we do crash?
It's never fair.
So, have you gone to the platform yet?
Ooh.
Yeah, on the side.
Andrew will be in bed tonight.
You
Oh!
wanna try?
Just waiting for him to lose.
So one of the things you might actually do is if you go to the platform, then go to browse. Go to Street Vault.
Oh, right. No, that didn't count.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's a good point to make is
Oh, yeah.
each game on the platform, because it is kind of in its own bubble, you have to create a vault to hold your coins. So when you go to a game and you, for example, if you go to this game, you find it on the platform, click on the game, click create vault.
Go
This
for it.
allows you to
Yeah.
have like a bag that you can hold on the platform.
YOLO.
So that should be able to work. As long as you create vault, you should be able to. Two-step method though, currently, which we are going to be removing with our wallet. So currently right now, you do need a conversion key, which is a on-chain key
I just beat you.
that is required to allow conversion, the conversion method. So you do need a little bit of Ethereum to
Does the cop
actually
do anything?
participate.
I don't know.
Yes.
Crash into
So
it.
the total
It's a
system to
cop.
create your
Yeah.
wallet,
Stupid
which
cop.
is a smart contract wallet, conversion key, and to essentially be able to have enough gas.
YOLO
is
this
about point 10
Whoa, whoa.
Ethereum.
You like
So
that?
we range it to about 10 to 20.
No, it wasn't. I had that.
Right? And you do need that to convert the key, create your smart contract wallet. Your smart contract wallet has a few different things in there that you can, put up systems that you can get coins, do all this stuff. But that is one of the things we will be removing with our wallet.
Oh,
is
man.
that
Smash that call. Let's go over.
Anyone want to try
It's a
it?
long process from a user point of view. It's a bit of a long process.
Exactly. And it's just where we are right now, which is why I said you do need MetaMask
You're
on
there
the
starting the
platform.
economies and all that sort of.
Let's see. Panda Commander.
All right, is there any other questions?
What's your marketing plan?
The marketing plan for us?
Yeah.
For us, the marketing plan is obviously to increase the
Really
games.
simplistic. Second one down?
Getting the indie developers. Second one down. continue hitting developers with obviously on that. Hit blockchain marketing, hit the traditional marketing, and with our kind of our new thing with esports as well, hit that as well. We've had a good influx in terms of just traditional, traditional news sites, everything like that. We haven't digested in terms of deep down in terms of like the crypto marketing, because that could be quite expensive.
Ooh, it says tap
Yeah,
on.
kind of your main target. You're kind of more B2B in a way, because wouldn't you be targeting developers first of all, and then hope that they kind of promote your coin to their users then?
Yes, which is kind of like the similar talks that we've had is, it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, and it kind of falls into your question as well. Chicken or the egg, which one's easier to get to, gamers or developers? Developers. So for us, it's to build the data. So we had to kind of jump. I'll go a little bit more. We had to jump from hitting developers first, making sure that there was an audience for developers and developers wanted something like this, then jumping back to gamers to get the data, and then once we build up the data, jump back to developers to say, hey, we built up the data, here's you're asking for this, so now let's continue. And we are essentially the system, like many things on-chain and blockchain, our goal is to make this as decentralized as possible. So I know right now I'm obviously showing you guys how it's done and showing you guys how to do these things, but the goal is to make this as decentralized as possible with having some centralized workload for it. So with the coins that you earn, a portion goes back into the platform and back into the games. A certain amount of coins are with each game, and it goes back into that to facilitate the self-running purpose of the game. So this one's pretty cool as well, is you can take, and when you guys get a chance, if you guys do ever get a chance to try it for yourselves, this game and Blocky Car Crash are, as I said, you can take the earned currencies that you earned from Stunt Runner and actually impact the game here. So you'll actually see it in live time. You transfer it to the platform, you get the coins, you go into this game, you log in, you see your coins there, you can import them, and then boom, you can buy upgrades and for ships and stuff like that.
Would you ever consider merging with, say, like, I don't own any of the new consoles of PS4, but I had a PS3, and I remember you used to be able to earn like trophy points, stuff with the, would you ever consider merging with a bigger entity, would say, like, we'll just say Sony, for example, who have this system in their consoles for XP and all that, or which you prefer to stay or on kind of separate platform?
So learning kind of about this and kind of universal gaming and everything like that, and kind of integration, we learned that those big developers really want things for themselves. And so greed is kind of one of the factors.
I like free. Oh no.
Which is kind of how the challenge system spawned, because we figured a way without kind of putting them fully involved to be able to get those. So, which is for Steam, for example, that's where the challenge system. So yes, to hit the mass adopted market, we would love to be able to, take your trophies that you earned to be able to convert those. Right now, Steam is our easiest bet in terms of getting that done.
Yeah, it's Steam.
I'm all about the upgrades, and I like games with lots of upgrades in them. So here, there's a conversion between stars and tap coins.
Yes. Cool. Stars and tap coins, and then when you go on the platform, you'll be able to go from Stunt Runner gems essentially to tap coins and do this.
I like this game. Panda Commander, alright.
I was wondering where the panda was involved. It's like he's the guy flying.
Yeah.
So obviously these are very simple games to show the mechanism, and that's why I say these two games in terms of they have real impact for the earned currency, which is cool to see.
I'm a panda.
You see, it wouldn't explode because of something like this. It's a gradual adoption. It wouldn't just.
I wasn't doing my job. The live stream only got to see a little bit of the top version of the game. It's supposed to be over here. Yeah, it switched when they went from
Oh, because it's not
Yeah, switch to it and move
it's
to the
not
landscape.
sideways anymore.
Come out of there. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, anybody got anything else? You guys are already side talking. Yeah, we got it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we had the technical difficulty to start, so we got a bit of a late start. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming. And when you guys get a little further with those announcements and stuff, you can always come back. 6 months or so.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you based out of?
We're based out of Vancouver.
Oh, you're based in Vancouver. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we see more of you, and thank you to everyone in our audience for coming. If I can get a round of applause for this guy right here. Yeah, thank you everyone who's watching this now or later online. This has been Tap Project from Decontrol, blockchaingaming.com. Thank you for watching.
Stop plugging in. That was